Now we can play the game. Welcome. I would love for that option to stick, you know, so that I don't have to deal with the achievements, doing achievement things. I am extremely confused, but my save is still there, so I am moving on, and I'm not going to dwell on that any longer. And I forgot to fix my eyelash this morning. I'm just really happy that my save is still intact. That's what's important. The Lost Cathedral of Ulakaris. This is going to be a Giga dungeon with a Giga boss fight protecting it. No. Okay. You would have been really good out here instead of that campfire in the middle of an icy area. Some crafting benches. Give me a couple of those. This looks interesting. Very, very interesting. Those are either fish, Cthulhu monsters, or just like decorative leaf things that you normally see on columns and stuff.
Celine, I will prepare the symbiosis.
The word symbiosis, never good.
You and your ragtag bunch of misfits should use this precious time to explore the surroundings.
A question first. What do you know about doppelgangers?
Do you mean that Oberos fellow?
I've never met such a powerful being in my life. He was even stronger than the man he stole his shape from. He was even stronger than me when he assumed mine.
Now, Celine, if all that you say is true, if this really is a doppelganger, we may have another problem in our hands. Doppelgangers are by essence duplicitous creatures, but they are also supposed to be divine messengers.
Duplicitous.
In the old legends, they were sent by the gods to visit a chosen one and bequeath them with power and a mission.
He told me he came down here because I failed my own.
What can I say? If this is true, we're neck deep in Warmash, Celine. But then again, let's not despair just yet.
I did not deserve that. I did not deserve that. I wait like every time. It must have been my controller.
So, scrab along with the other kids while I prepare everything.
I didn't deserve that. It would have happened regardless, if I waited or not. I'm just letting you know that I didn't deserve that. I did not press the button twice, or anything of the sort. Life is hard.
What now? A little comic strip? Hope it's funny.
In Harian's darkest hour, a divine envoy, a herald appointed by the few remaining divines, will descend into the world to visit the Chosen. They will wear the same face. They will speak with the same voice. The Chosen will recognize their other half, shaped as their perfect reflection. Upon their epiphany, the Chosen will understand the true nature of their mission.
What's this story about a chosen one? Is this Herald Oberos?
Wear the same face. Perfect reflection.
Oh, it seems like your Vanitas friends here are pretty much corroborating Oberos's claims. The last of the god's servants, was it?
Syl told me Oberos was dead set on finding Korra. Can we conclude that Korra is supposed to be the chosen one? Damn, this is getting bigger by the minute, and I still don't even think we're starting to see the big picture.
The prophecy doesn't end there. It starts diverging into multiple branches. Upon failure, Harian will bleed out its one too many wounds. Both the gods and mankind will wither into oblivion. Upon acceptance, the Chosen One and the Herald will become one, and the world will be saved. Upon rejection, the Herald will decay into a demon and set fire to the world before destroying itself.
That seems completely rational.
What does that mean? What's going to happen?
I don't know.
So, Oberos being the god's grunt is pretty much confirmed then? You guys don't look too fresh about that.
And you seem like you don't even care.
Meh, I don't believe in gods.
Where's magic coming from then?
Dunno, can't use it anyway, and wouldn't care less if I did.
We're talking about the fate of Harian here.
Look at you guys, shaking in your boots because some guy freewheeled his chisel on a stone mural a few centuries ago.
He has a point.
There are too many coincidences to simply dismiss it.
Hey, I'm just saying. In any case, God's herald or whatever, it will make a fine trophy for my collection. Click, click, hallelujah, and kaboom.
Sometimes even I can't understand what you're saying.
Fallon Hildegard, sky pirate extraordinaire, dilettante, philanthropist, and god slayer. How grand does that sound?
I'm supposed to go to these in order. Oh, it doesn't show in order. Hey, Dante.
This...
It's, what? What is this?
I don't know. My heart is racing for some reason.
Somehow.
Where did... Have I seen this before?
I don't know why, but this is somehow painful to look at.
You feel it too, Yosaurus?
Sadness, madness, chaos. As if the worst is yet to come.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Can you read it, Celine? Tell us what it's about?
I can't read it. It's like the characters wriggle out of my sight every time I try to grasp them.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is really pretty.
I concur. If anything, this engraving has a comforting, homely feel.
Take a snapshot, Thea. We'll probably fetch a good price for this.
Felon!
Oh, can't even joke around here.
Maybe it's some kind of ancient magic they weaved into the carving.
We should. I think we should go and see if Alfarius has finished his preparations.
I agree.
Magic writing. Curious if these were different, because I think they are different. I remember the guy being glowing, and I was right. So they were different. There's a glow on the top right on the other one, and the guy is glowing on that one. Interesting. Gotta look for treasure chests because you never know. And that time the fireball's glowing. That time the tower is glowing.
What's this?
Answers.
Or more questions.
Can you make sense of any of this?
To some extent, I can read the writing itself, but inevitably lose the meaning behind it.
So, what do we have here?
Prophecies. Venati writings often follow diverging lines, paths. Rather than describe a unique truth, they recount all possible outcomes, as if the future was always in movement.
Why call them prophecies then? Those are more like speculations, right?
There is always a component of certainty in their foretelling. No matter how the story diverges, there is always a foundational event at its origin. A foundational event that triggers waves of possibilities. But the rest is cryptic, vague.
This thing, it looks like a...
It's the Raslin Comet, the gigantic meteor that threatened to destroy Junor 1.5 millennium ago.
It could be just some kind of fairy tale.
Well, the meteor exists, actually. I went to Juno once, when I could still afford it. The meteor is still there, all right, in all its glorious stillness. I've seen it with my own 2 sober eyes. They even put a little mausoleum there, so that pilgrims can waste money.
Every civilization around the world reported sightings of the comet. Then the gods went dormant for several centuries. People didn't use magic again until the Cyrus era.
This is interesting.
It seems that the Venatis predicted the arrival of the meteor, and that the gods would have prevented the destruction of Harian. It's not the only documented occurrence of godly intervention. Throughout the ages, there have been countless floods, eruptions, and earthquakes that were miraculously prevented. The gods have always protected us.
If you prevent an earthquake, how do you know that there was going to be an earthquake?
But not this time, apparently.
What do you know? Maybe I'm the miracle they sent.
Joking about this already? Let's see what else there is.
The Meteor Revelation here is interesting. They introduced that not too long ago. And it's, you know, it was just kind of like an old bedtime story that, you know, a couple characters believed and a couple characters didn't. But if this whole quest thing, if the corrosion is kind of related to this meteor that's just apparently sitting there in the sky, just suspended, that would be pretty crazy. I'd like that.
This fairy tale has a somewhat bad ending.
No need to translate this one.
Really, I'm having a hard time.
It's Oberos's tower? With fire raining upon the land.
Just like he promised you back in the scrapyard, huh?
Can you translate this, Celine?
The Venatis have built this tower in order to prevent the worst from happening. Upon betrayal, the Herald will seize the God Machine and command it to cleanse Harrion and save it from impending doom.
Definitely not good.
Only a select few will survive this ordeal. A millennium of dreams will pass for them. On their awakening, they will be free, and life on Harrion will flourish. Again.
So, the Vanitas have prepared a tower so that Oberos could destroy everyone in Harrion, save for a select few.
Oberos conducted human sacrifices to power his machine. It's just the same everywhere.
What do you mean?
That we have to stop this.
It's the same everywhere. We have to stop it all, you sucker fool.
We agree on that.
A question here. As I understand it, the Vanitas built this tower to prevent the worst from happening. What if by mistake we allow the world to end because we prevent Oberos from carrying out his plans?
What could be worse than the extinction of all life on Harrion?
I don't know, the planet blowing up, maybe?
Of all life, except the lucky few, chosen by Oberos? I don't know. Impending doom sounds quite ominous. Maybe it's the corrosion.
Destroying everyone on Harrion to preserve a few people is not the way.
I agree. We are not going to let everyone die because some madman has decided to purify the world.
And if this all-consuming blight is the corrosion, we still have to find its cure.
No objection there.
That's not suspicious at all.
The symbiosis is ready. You probably have a lot of questions, but you will have to address them to the gods themselves.
Okay.
Alfarius is not facing the same direction that everybody else is.
Don't forget Celine. From now on, you're on your own.
I'll be okay.
What's going to happen?
Symbiosis. This lotus flower.
This Nulumbo Nucifera.
The Nulumbo Nucifera that Alfarius has grown here is naturally attuned to the cathedral's strong magical current. When I commune with it, I will enter a trance state in which our life forces will intertwine.
Now, it's been a long time since I practiced magic, but I remember that delving into the deepest magical layers is somewhat dangerous.
It is dangerous.
And incredibly painful.
Painful?
There's a limit to the amount of magic a body can withstand. I've trained myself to endure it. So, I'll get to it and start my meditation.
We will leave now, Celine.
Wait, shouldn't we just stay around in case she needs something?
No, she doesn't. Even the tiniest disturbance could have disastrous consequences. She needs total privacy.
Privacy, huh? Got it. Let's go, guys. The sooner we're done with this magical nonsense, the better. I'm getting bored of this place already.
Fallon is... I still don't like Fallon.
Look at you two guys' faces.
Like, what does she actually contribute to any conversation other than, you want me to shoot him? Or, I'm bored now.
Are you worried about me?
Of course I'm worried, Celine. You're going to places where I can't help you.
Where no one can help me.
Come, Darian. All we can do is trust her.
Easy for you to say she's not your sister.
Yeah, of course it's easy for me to say. It's not like I'm a human being or anything who might get emotionally attached to the nicest people he's ever met in his whole sordid life or anything.
Baka?
It's... You know what I mean.
Come on, Worrywart, she'll be fine. Don't make me lie now, Celine.
Oh, I know how uncomfortable you are with that. Thanks, guys. See you soon.
That's what you're going to do from now on? You're working hard to prevent meteors from killing the planet? Since your birth, you have a 100% success rate. Congratulations! Dante out here making moves, preventing meteors from crash landing onto the planet. Fallon is that person that says crappy junk and then follows it up with, LOL, I'm just joking, bro. If all you do is crap on everyone, you're not joking. You're just annoying. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. So, you're in this with us. Affirmative. I wonder why. You didn't run away at your first opportunity? Imagine that I did manage to escape. What then? Go back to the Vanguard? Improbable and sub-efficient. Go to Tir Kalum, so that your congeners dismantle me for study? Even less so. Do you think the Arclights would take me back if they could? I don't know. They would not. I am compromised. If they did not bother to salvage me in the last decade, they will not bother to salvage me now. I'm a hostage of circumstances, more than a prisoner. At least now, you have accepted me into your group. I can gather enough data about this world to survive. I realize that I am completely dependent on you. Besides, you are also depending on me to operate the ancient machinery in Oberos's lair. Are we now? We haven't even been inside there. I admit I didn't think it through that far. Your sibling has, without a doubt. Do you think of yourself as our prisoner? Think of myself as the captain's property. And you're comfortable with that? I am an AI. Being owned is my natural condition. Like a comfort zone is what you're trying to say. Don't you crave freedom? Though I understand it is the most desirable condition for a human, the concept of freedom remains alien to me. How so? Freedom for humans is the ability to act freely within their own physical and intellectual limitations. Humans do not realize that their own limitations impair all their actions and decisions, and they continue to make uninformed choices, mistakes. The right to make mistakes is what makes you human. It is in your nature. Your idea of free will allows you to disregard the most sensible course of action in favor of a gut feeling. Don't you agree? In case you haven't noticed, Thea, thinking is not my area. Wrong. You are quite capable, just like your sister. But unlike her, you fear where your ideas might lead you. That's why I tried to isolate and manipulate you back in the Vanguard. What was that you said back then? That I was the most vulnerable of the group. You are, and I would advise you to get some help. Now, aren't you a funny guy? Yeah, funny guy though? Are you in my party now? Okay, weird. I have a confession to make. Oh no. I know where this is going. Don't. I didn't think you'd have it in you, saving me from Oberos. Oh, okay, sure. Dodged a bullet there. Thought you were only in it for the money. But if that were true, you'd already be gone. Why are you still here? I'm in your sister's clutches, remember? The golden key? What's that key for? Nothing of interest to you. Fallon, we might get killed fighting Oberos. So I need to know I can trust you. But if that's not enough, then I guess I won't push further. Soldiers, always worried about minor details when they should worry about the big picture. Okay, forget I asked. Once everything is said and done, I want to leave something good behind, a legacy. Something. A legacy like money? Something like what exactly? No, not something like that. Something with actual meaning. Afraid I don't get you. That's the only bone I'm gonna throw you, crazy eyes. Take it or leave it. Not my problem. I'll take it. What about you, by the way? If your sister wasn't involved, or that Syl girl you're dead set on rescuing, wouldn't you be running the other way? I can't. Not with a consort breathing down my neck. I heard you tell that commander of yours to lop off your head because you were done with the consort. You have good ears. Yes, I do. Were you serious? I was. I want nothing to do with him anymore. Are you suicidal or something? Stuff it. Still think you're crazy, by the way. I must admit, I didn't see any of this coming, and looking at your dumbfounded expression, I guess I'm not the only one. Everything was just dangling right in front of me, the speech in Jagholm, Vaughn calling her the Mad One, Ilvana's decree, even Myrna. By the gods, did Myrna know this all along? Such an idiot. Don't take it too hard. I'm sure Celine didn't want to bore you with sanctorium politics. But she didn't even hide it. Everything was there all along. It's me. I didn't want to see it, didn't want to know. She has been carrying that burden alone. Now, lad, I haven't known her as long as you have, but I know one thing. Selena's having a grand old time. How can you possibly know that? It's blindingly obvious. Not for me. That's because you're not looking at her the way I do. What do you mean by I'm not looking at her the way you do? I mean that I... What did I mean by that? Of course, what I mean by that was... I mean that as her brother, you're naturally biased. You can't be objective. Say that again? Do you imagine what her life was like until now? Cooped up in a covenant, then a sanctorium archivist. It's a miracle she didn't die of boredom. You're worried about her now, that she's free to roam the countryside, searching for a cure to save the world. But you weren't. When she was a prisoner of the sanctorium. You got a good point there. Of course I do. I know one or two things about prison, trust me. By the way, the only time I ever saw her really upset was when you were abducted, dummy. Oh, really upset, huh? I see the picture. Oh yeah, you can be sorry. I really am, Eusaurus. What's taking her so long? Hey, you're the one telling me not to worry. Haven't you realized, Darian? I'm only good at dishing out advice, not following it. The homeboy Slice. Homeboy Slice. He is a homie. Its attempt at making Fallon not a money-hungry sucker is falling flat. Still a sucker. She's still a sucker. 100%. 100%. Alright, let's save and mark. Before talking to Alfarius.